I as a woman inhabit is a world that has time and again informed me that women are women's worst enemies. Since a very young age, I was fed the idea that we as women are inherently dramatic and hence our behaviors must remain naturally embedded in theatrics. In fact, I have lost count of the number of times I have been advised by my closest relatives to tread lightly around women friends because apparently they tend to be jealous, conniving, and allegedly manipulative in nature. Basically, I was taught to believe that as women, we are literal embodiments of Komolika, the infamous leading lady from the Indian TV show Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. While such a narrative might seem to be quite absurd and bizarre to think of in retrospect, unfortunately, for a very long time, it played a huge impact in the way I chose to perceive myself and also in the way I engaged with other women. It made me identify the vast majority of women around me with a grave sense of mistrust, thus preventing me from seeing them as allies in the battle against patriarchy. I was taught to believe that my relationships with other women would somehow diminish my own presence in this world. As each other's natural adversaries, solidarity was taught to be something that could not, and more importantly, should not exist among women. Bell Hooks emphatically mirrors a similar experience in an essay titled as Sisterhood, Political Solidarity Between Women, wherein she argues, and I quote her here, "It is sexism that leads women to feel threatened by one another without cause. While sexism teaches women to be sex objects for men, it is also manifest when women who have repudiated this role feel contemptuous and superior in relation to those women who have not. Sexism teaches women woman-hating, and both consciously and unconsciously we act out this hatred in our daily contact with one another." This clarity and ease with which she deconstructs the perennial sexism that surrounds the lives of countless women enables me to feel represented in a very intimate way, in a way that remains majorly absent from academic writings. The theory that I am generally taught in our sociology classes hardly ever takes cognizance of my own subjective contexts, and hence never really permits me to see myself in any of it. However, Bell Hooks gifts me, a South Asian woman, a vocabulary to understand the layers of historical multitudes which contribute to my perception of and my engagement with the world around me. It is for this reason that her words become cathartic to me, almost like a warm hug from my mother amidst a long, tiring day of writing assignments. In Theory as a Liberatory Practice, she passionately describes theorizing to be a sanctuary which allows her to find a place where she can imagine possible futures, a place where life can be lived differently. Bell Hooks goes on to write, and I quote her here, that this lived experience of critical thinking, of reflection and analysis became a place where I worked at explaining the hurt and making it go away. Fundamentally, I learned from this experience that theory could be a healing place. Hooks's theorizations provide me with this healing place by curating a space that gives primacy to personal experiences, which in turn distinguishes her scholarship from other academic texts. Reading her works do not come across to me as fundamentally solitary and alienating exercise, unlike other intellectual endeavors. Instead, her writings carry the power of transformation, which creates an urgent desire to take her works outside the realm of academia and to imbibe them in my own life world. She beckons me into her world, challenges me, and coaxes me into revisiting my own carefully constructed ideas on feminism. Her words uncomfortably reveal the traces of sexist socialization that continues to remain silently lodged in the inner corners of my consciousness. Such blurring of lines between theory and practice deeply contributes to my awareness on feminism by opening up to me the importance of sisterhood in our struggle against patriarchy. She reminds me that sisterhood does not exist in the shared notions of victimization. Rather, it lies in the shared strengths and resources between women. She dispels the idea that the relevance of the feminist movement lies in the primary conception of women as victims, and instead, her notion of sisterhood places its faith on solidarity, community of interests, as well as shared beliefs. She says, and I quote her here, that women do not need to eradicate difference to feel solidarity. We do not need to share common oppression to fight equally to end oppression. We do not need anti-male sentiments to bond us together. We can be sisters, united by shared interests and beliefs, united in our appreciation for diversity, united in our struggle to end sexist oppression, united in political solidarity. Thus, she formulates a theory that includes me, liberates me, and perhaps even assists me in healing from the wounds of dwelling in a sexist patriarchal society. It is for these reasons that I'll remain forever indebted to a black feminist thinker called Bell Hooks. It is for these reasons that she is immensely important to me.